I've got a great guest in studio, James Thomas. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Jeff.
back on the air. It's been a little while since we've seen you here as we talk economic development of Mason County and how have things been going for you?
Well, I'm just back from nearly a month in Europe and had a wonderful time, but I am so glad to be back.
I'm sure working hard for the EDC every single day of that trip.
Every moment of that, yes, indeed.
We've got the big Expo coming up before too long. Tell us a little bit about how things have been going, if you're up to speed on how things are going.
Well, things are shaping up quickly, although we do still have sponsorships available. And if you haven't registered yet, come on down, give us a call, send us an email. We would certainly love to have you.
Businesses in the 5 kind of county area that are helping to facilitate this have got some big opportunities to get some looks by these are big companies that come in and
yes, indeed,
and talk with about what's going on. Is some good chances for a any business, I guess, big or small, to showcase.
Absolutely. At the Expo, we will spend a lot of time discussing the economic environment of the 5-county area. We'll talk about various initiatives that are going on to expand business opportunities in the region, and we'll have some short comments from each of the 5 EDC directors, well, 4 and me for the moment, talking about economic development initiatives in each of the 5 counties. So it's going to be, I think, a wonderful, wonderful program.
Very nice. What are some of the other things that you've been hearing in the community the last week? And did you get anywhere in Europe? Did you talk with anybody and kind of even just in passing and then a light bulb come on or anything like that?
Well, no light bulbs came on, but I did talk to quite a number of people actually, and trying to get a feel for the evolving business environment in Europe. And what I found was things are tough in Spain. Pretty much all over.
Yeah.
I spent some time in Barcelona, heard some sad stories there, and of course there's been much in the news about an effort toward Catalonian independence. One of the things that struck me, and this is really an aside to business development, is there are tremendous emotions involved on both sides of that issue, but it's always, the demonstrations are always very peaceful, very orderly. I was really struck by that.
Huh.
Yeah.
A little
pretty
different
cool
than what we see here
yeah,
in the U.S.
Very much.
Anybody talking about business in the U.S. or wanting to steer clear of coming?
And I was going to say, that has been one of the that was a theme that I heard wherever I traveled, is essentially what's going on in America.
Right.
And, twice I heard, we were thinking about coming over to visit one on the East Coast and one in the Deep South, and we're probably going to wait a little bit on that.
Really?
So that's a little disturbing to me.
So even, we talk about all politics is local and governmental issues, even as far away as the DC on the whole other coast. So even some of the conversations that are happening all around the country could put a pause on international business perhaps coming in. They're going, well, I don't know about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is just uncertainty is the word that best describes it. It's There's not tremendous sophistication in their understanding of American politics and even American economics. But there's just enough uncertainty right now, and businesses hate uncertainty.
Yeah,
we like sure bets.
Sure, we hear it all the time. Interesting. Well, one good note to put forth a lot of great information to folks is with our Expo that's coming up, as well as anything else you guys got down the pike?
Well, there's one of the things that I want to be sure that that all of your listeners know about is that you personally and Karen Leaf with the EDC and some of the nice folks over at the Shelton Chamber are going to be working informally, at least together, to try and promote some of our local Mason County businesses.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful initiative.
Yeah, we're going to get out, see what's going on around the places, give some folks some different options rather than just clicking on their mouses. They can actually go into a real store and maybe talk to somebody. And
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun as we start working on that. Well, very good. I don't want to get you, you're just kind of getting yourself back into this conversation. So I don't want to
I
hit
do
you with
want
too
to
much.
I do want to make one sort of high altitude comment about economic development here, and that is, I mentioned before I left for vacation that we would be organizing developers conferences both in the north and south parts of the county, and those are moving forward. Those will both happen in the spring. I had very much wanted to see the South Side Development Conference before the end of the year, but realistically, it cannot be put together and be effective in communicating the things that we need to communicate. So, better to do it right and put it off.
There you go.
But I would also point out that this is part of economic development. Is not a one-note symphony.
Right.
It's important that we develop more residences. Number one, we have businesses in the community. Sierra Pacific, I think I've mentioned before, has real problems filling some of its jobs and finding local housing for the people who do work there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if we're going to have a vibrant retail community and restaurant community here, we need not just visitors, and we are working hard on tourism, but we also need to expand the residential base. It's the people who live here who are going to patronize these businesses more than anyone else.
Right.
And of course, all of that ties in with industry, because if we have people living here and we have great schools that kids are graduating, going on to university, really, do we want our kids to just come back for Thanksgiving and Christmas, or are we going to build a community where they can live and work here?
That's a good point. Good point. James Thomas, always nice seeing you. Welcome back. And we will check back with you next week. How's that sound?
And I will have an awful lot more to talk about next week.